special city council members and for our RISD school board. Girl Scouts, come on in. If we have any, I think we have enough seats, but please scoot in and use every seat. And if we have any daisies or brownies that want a front row seat, they can come sit up here with me. Some of my Girl Scout leader girls, you guys can come on up here with me if you want to.
Inside, all my dreams that are waiting to
Thank you for filling in all the chairs. We've got a wonderful big crowd, but I still have room for a few daisies or brownies. If they want to come sit in front and have a front row seat, you are welcome to, brownies. Yeah. Now, if you sit right here, you're in front of the RASD school board, so you need to behave. Oh, they're all going over here. But over here is the Dallas City Council, so you have to behave over here too. If you don't have a seat, we have room for girls on the floor up here, where there's plenty of space. Scooting in.
Sisters growing strong, we're about to begin a brand new song, hand in hand as we let our voices soar, you and me, and together we are more. When you lift me up, I lift you up for all the world to see. Every girl, everywhere, everywhere, we got a lot of love, got a lot of dreams to share.
When I say girl, you say power. Girl, girl. When I say June, you say teenth. June, June, when I say Opal, you say Opal. Opal. All right. Service unit. Service unit. Service unit. Girl Scout spirit. Service unit. Service unit. Service unit. Juneteenth spirit. We are here to celebrate courage, confidence, character. A Girl Scout has it all in her. Courage, confidence, character. A Girl Scout has it all in her. And to welcome us, we have the pastor at Lake Highlands Presbyterian Church. Thank you. Let's give a big round of applause to the church for letting us be here. This is Pastor Perrin Rice. Okay.
Good afternoon, everyone. We are absolutely thrilled to have each of you here at the Lake Highlands Presbyterian Church. And we've got quite a few of our folks here on this afternoon as well. So members of Lake Highlands, if you don't mind, I'm not going to ask you to stand, but just go ahead and raise your hand so people can see you. And if you have any questions or concerns or needs along that line, any of these individuals can help you during your time here on this afternoon. Yes, my name is Perrin Rice, and I am the pastor here at the Lake Highlands Presbyterian Church, where it is always our hope and desire to live Christ-filled lives in order to serve God and the whole community of humanity that leads to purpose, community, and love. We're very thankful to Lowry for all of the wonderful work that she does with our Girl Scouts here and many events that they are able to host here. We're so glad that they're able to do this, as well as to all of the parents who helped to volunteer to work with the Girl Scouts. God bless you. Thank you so much for all of the work that you are involved in and doing. And then, of course, to all of our Girl Scouts, God bless each and every one of you as well. We appreciate you. We really do. I have been informed that we do have some guests here, so I'm not going to call any names, but I'm going to ask that you would stand, if you don't mind, please. I'm going to ask that we have members from the Richardson Independent School District. If you all would stand, please. There we go. All right, thank you. As well as from the Dallas City Council, if you all would stand. And I'm not going to ask any ministers present to stand, but we're grateful that you guys are with us as well. And then lastly, a very large and heartfelt welcome to Dr. Opal Lee. Yeah, that's right. That is right. A heroic activist and icon in our midst. And we are blessed to have her with us on today, especially in a day and in the age where histories are being banned and stripped and erroneously rewritten. We have someone who has been able to stand in the gap to make sure that the truth is told and that history is actually displayed the way that it should be. We need more like Dr. Opal Lee. So God bless you, Lee, Dr. Lee. Thank you for being with us, and we're going to get to you guys in just a few moments. We are so grateful to have you as well, and all of you, thank you for being here on today. Now, I'm going to go sit down and enjoy whatever is going to be said on this afternoon.
Thank you so much. Yes, we really appreciate the City of Dallas and our RISD schools for their partnership when making Girl Scouts happen around the city. A few announcements. Thank you for your donations that you can make on PayPal that help to make this event and all the books that are, we gave 50 books of Opal Lee's Juneteenth books to the Girl Scouts when they walked in. And then if you missed out on that, she has more signed copies that are for sale as you leave today. Also, thank you to all those who support Girl Scouts by buying and eating and donating and selling and storing Girl Scout cookies. If you haven't noticed, it's Girl Scout cookie season. Don't worry if you've missed it. Our very oldest troop in Lake Highlands, Troop 1906, is selling them right in the lobby. Tomorrow, Girl Scout leaders and families, please email me if you want a spot on our spring camp out at Camp Gamble. I need to give some numbers, and we would love to have you there. That's going to be a fun time for us to be together. This is our third annual 3Cs speaker event. We took a couple years off for COVID. And at Girl Scouts, we know you have to be it, you have to see it to be it. Say that correctly with me. You have to see it to be it. And that's why we think it's so important to provide our girls the opportunity to see and learn from and get mentored by amazing leaders in our community. So our very first one was Dallas Police Chief Renee Hall. Raise your hand if you were here for that. That was exciting a few years ago. And then last year, we had our very own top-ranked CEO and incredibly successful CEO of Girl Scouts of Northeast Texas, Jennifer Bartowski. So she was amazing, too. You know who we have this year. Stay tuned, and I hope you'll come back for next year. You never know who you're going to get to meet. If you are not a Girl Scout, and I know you'll want to be after today, then we have a place for you. Girl Scouts is very proud of our history of making Girl Scouts accessible to every girl. And so if you have any questions, you can talk to me or email me. My email's in your program. But Service Unit 165 especially loves to celebrate the tradition of diversity and inclusion that Girl Scouts has promoted in its over 112 years. We turn 112 this year. Happy birthday, Girl Scouts. We're proud of the Girl Scout movement that has long been a beacon of this inclusion and diversity. But we're always trying to do better. We want all girls to know there is a safe place here at Girl Scouts for you to feel accepted, nurtured, and celebrated. I want to celebrate some very important Girl Scout dads I see. If you're a dad that brought your girl, let's give them a round of applause. We need those Girl Scout dads showing that they too believe in the power of girls. So thank you for being part of your daughter's life. Let's see if I have anything else. Patches. Good news. I didn't order enough patches because I didn't know we'd have this many amazing Girl Scouts come. Thank you for coming. If you don't get a patch today, send me an email. I promise I'll get one for you, okay? We have some nice Juneteenth patches at the end. Make sure we've got some people up in the back. Make sure we're squeezed in and using every chair. Maybe we have a few more girls that want to sit. I see some room over here in front of the RASD school board. I see some room over here in front of city council if we have some Girl Scouts that might be willing to give up their chair for an adult. And I just need this space right here and a space to walk right here. Thank you so much. All right, let's do this thing. I need Kenzie and Adriana.
Girl Scouts attention.
Girl Scouts.
Color guard, advance. Color guard, post the colors. Color Guard, honor your flag. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Very good.
Girl Scouts, please join me in the saying of the Girl Scout promise and law. The Girl Scout promise.
We'll do it in because I moved it up for you. Okay, ready?
Girl Scouts, please join me in the saying of the Girl Scout promise and law.
Responsible for what I say and do, and to respect myself and others, respect authority, use resources wisely, make the world a better place, and be a sister to every Girl Scout. Good job. If you don't know that song, you should. I'm glad we got to learn it together with some Girl Scouts up here. Make sure we have a path. And before we get to our speaker, I want to introduce you to another living legend in our midst. Last February, for Black History Month, there was an amazing mural at the Galleria that GSNETX put there. Raise your hand if you saw that mural. It did have, who did it have on it? It did have Miss Opal Lee on it, you're right. And I hear the other name too. We were celebrating Black History Month, and a very special lady from our service unit was on it. She has been, oh, here are my glasses right on my head. All foggy and sweaty. Never mind. This is gonna happen to you someday, brownies. This person has been a volunteer Girl Scout for 35 years. She established the troop that's selling cookies right out here, Troop 1906, out of Mount Zion Baptist Church in February that year. And this Troop 1906 is still going strong with her daughter Michelle as co-leader. Michelle, wave your, oh, and I see your dad back there too. And Michelle's been in the back helping sell those cookies. And they even have some second generation Girl Scouts in their troop now. One parent said that this Girl Scout troop is her village and that this leader inspires her to be the best parent she can be. So please give a round of applause for a Girl Scout shero, Miss Marjorie Burrell and Troop 1906. We are so excited that we can make that connection because they were on the Black History mural together, and that's when you guys met for the first time a year ago, and that's when we started planning this event. Oh yes, those programs work great as fans too. Feel free to do that. And now I want to introduce you to the granddaughter of the grandmother of Juneteenth. Say that with me. The granddaughter of the grandmother of Juneteenth. And her name is Miss Dion Sims.
Hello, everybody. This is a beautiful sight to see so many young ladies and young men from the parent side and brothers that are here as well, celebrating Black History Month here with you guys. And I have the distinct pleasure of giving you just a little bit of information about my grandmother. And you'll hear her give you some directions in a minute that's going to make you all related to me in a second. Watch. My grandmother, at about 86 years old in 2014, was doing a Juneteenth. She's been doing Juneteenth in Fort Worth since the 70s. And it's been her goal to make sure that Fort Worth celebrated Juneteenth. And I stayed in the background because, you know, it was hot. It was hot in June. I helped with the programs. I helped with, you know, the back office stuff. I didn't go to the park. But I happened to be at the park in 2014 as she finished an almost 3-mile parade route, leading it, walking it. And I said, I am such a bad granddaughter. I really am. Because she ran from the parade to the opening of the stage to greet all the people and everything. And I said, she's just working too hard at 86. She's just working too hard. And so I need to help her. She just needs to come into the new millennium, you know, get a website, get some social media, and, you know, it'll be all easy. And so I asked her if I could help her to elevate Juneteenth and make it easy for her, and she agreed to let me do that. And so my nonprofit, Unity Unlimited, now produces Juneteenth in Fort Worth. And as we started, you know, she at 89, after we were doing 2 Juneteenths together, decided that Juneteenth hadn't been made a holiday yet, and she needed to do something about it. Now, we are a part of the National Juneteenth Observance Foundation that was led by the late Ronald Myers, And she comes and tells me at 89 that she wants to walk to D.C. I called my dad, and I asked, I said, your mother wants to walk to D.C. Did you know about that? He says, yeah, I heard. I said, are you okay with that? He says, well, you're not going to be able to stop her. I said, okay, as long as I have permission to put the program together to get it done, I just didn't want to get in trouble, And so we started on this campaign, from a wild hair that she had to visit President Obama to see how come it hadn't been made a holiday yet. And that birthed the Opal's Walk to DC campaign and the following online petition that we built as well. And so what I wanted to do was to give you a chance to see a couple of videos before she comes to the mic. So, are we ready? Okay.
Why is Juneteenth so special to me? Because 2.5 years after the Emancipation Proclamation, there were enslaved. Why is Juneteenth so special to me? Because 2.5 years after the Emancipation Proclamation, there were enslaved people in Galveston. Why is Juneteenth so special to me? Because 2.5 years after the Emancipation Proclamation, there were enslaved people in Galveston, Texas, that did not know they were free. It represents freedom for all of us. I advocate that we celebrate from the 19th of June to the 4th of July because none of us are free until we're all free.
Juneteenth really does need to be more appreciated and more widespread and taught about, and really does need to be a national holiday.
My favorite thing about Juneteenth is the festival. But all the fun stuff, like barbecues, ribs, bouncy houses, slip and slides, a lot of stuff.
Due in part to Miss Opal's hard work, Juneteenth was recently declared a federal holiday.
We've come a long way, but we've still a long way to go.
How do you Juneteenth?
You saw that it was made a holiday, but getting there and actually being in the presence of the vice president and the president, I mean, my cheeks are still hurting because I can remember how much I smiled that day being there. So here's the second video, and you guys can share it with us.
That President Biden used to sign Juneteenth into law. I'm Opal Lee, and I've had this marvelous day at the White House. The young people would say, it's off the chain. I knew I was coming because Juneteenth had been made a national holiday, and the president was signing the bill into law, and I was invited to the signing of that bill.
Looking out across this room, I see the advocates, the activists, the leaders who have been calling for this day for so long, including the one and only Miss Opal Lee.
Over the course of decades, she's made it her mission to see that this day came. She's walked for miles and miles, literally and figuratively, to bring attention to Juneteenth, to make this day possible.
You cannot imagine how joyful, how humble, how magnificent the whole thing has been. There may be some of you who don't know what Juneteenth is. The enslaved in Texas weren't told they were free for 2.5 years after the Emancipation Proclamation freed them. They watch in our churches and they pray for freedom to come. And it finally did. When General Gordon Granger and 7,000 colored troops from New Jersey and New York made their way to Galveston, Texas. And he read General Order Number 3, that said all slaves are free. When those people came in from their labor and somebody read that to them, we started celebrating, and we've been celebrating ever since. Juneteenth is not a Texas thing. It's not a black thing. We're talking about freedom for everyone.
I present to you Miss Opal Lee.
Good afternoon, all you young people. And you're all young people if you're not 97. I'm delighted. I tell you, I don't really know where to start, except to tell you that somewhere along the line, I'm going to talk about some courage and some, I don't know what this is. Wait a minute. Some confidence and some character that I'm supposed to have exhibited at some time or another.
When you're ready to read it, they'll put it on the things for you.
Oh, okay, if you say so. Okay, you look. Okay. The children asked, Randy Opal Lee, what does this say? And I said, Juneteenth, a children's story. That's the title of the book. Randy, can you please read this book to us? Over 200 years ago, people who looked like me were slaves. Someone may have read to you the stories from the Bible.
Okay, so let's use this one? Yep. Okay. There we go.
Someone may have read to you the stories from the Bible about slaves in Egypt, but they were not like these slaves. Men from this country and other countries stole people in Africa from their fathers and their mothers, their brothers and their sisters. They chained them up and brought them across the ocean in ships.
Turn it there.
That's a lot of water, and it's a very long trip. And some did not make it. The enslaved Africans were forced to work very hard for no pay and were not treated fairly. Life was not good for them. There was a United States president, like President Barack Obama, named Abraham Lincoln, who declared slaves would be free on January the 1st, 1863. This was called Emancipation Proclamation. What was it called? Emancipation Proclamation. The enslaved waited at churches all night long on New Year's Eve to see how freedom would come. These were called watch night services, and many churches still hold them today. The United States is so big that Texas didn't get enforcement of the Emancipation Proclamation for 2.5 years after slavery had ended. United States colored troops and Major General Gordon Granger arrived in Galveston, Texas on June the 19th, 1865, read General Order Number 3 to the people that were there. Then he nailed it to the door of what's now Reedy Chapel African Methodist Episcopal Church. General Granger declared, all slaves are free. What did he declare? All slaves are free. The slaves were so happy that they started celebrating, and we've been celebrating ever since. Every year since, there have been celebrations, and the formerly enslaved put on their best clothes, dressed to the nines to celebrate their freedom. This day was called Juneteenth and is celebrated in the United States and around the world. June plus 19 equals what? Juneteenth. Each year on the 19th of June, people celebrate the ending of slavery with festivals and concerts and educational activities. Now, there are 50 states that officially observe Juneteenth as a holiday. That youngster wanted to know why not all of them, but all of them do. On June the 17th, 2021, President Joseph Biden signed the Juneteenth Independence Day Act into law that established Juneteenth of every year a new federal holiday. Now, Americans everywhere can celebrate freedom from the 19th of June to the 4th of July. And so, young people, I'm going to ask you to make yourself a committee of one to change somebody's mind. You know, people who aren't on the same page you are on. Change their minds. And it's going to take more than a day. You're going to have to work at it. But if people have been taught to hate, they can be taught to love. And so it's your responsibility to change people's minds.
One of the things when we travel and we talk to young people that we hope that they understand and glean from the fact that Juneteenth is now a national holiday and it's on the calendar is that now it's time to educate people about how come it is an American holiday. For so long, and this is one of the reasons it took it so long to become a national holiday, is one, we kept it so close to the vest in Texas. But two, we also pigeonholed it to just being an African American holiday. And when you actually explore the unity that Juneteenth represents and the inclusiveness of what Juneteenth stands for, and that's freedom for everybody, then you can understand why we need to allow people the ability to celebrate Juneteenth and celebrate the African heritage, the African American heritage that we enjoy. Because when you think about the freedom to go to school, the freedom to marry, the freedom to worship, the freedom to vote, the freedom to get an education, those are things that the previously enslaved did not enjoy. And even today, everybody doesn't have the opportunity to take advantage of what we consider our inalienable rights. And so when you think about where we've come from, we can't get comfortable with saying, well, we've overcome that now it's, you know, an American holiday. But a lot of folks still don't understand that freedom represented by each person's ability to enact those things is what we're still walking for, what we're still trying to make folks understand. Juneteenth itself celebrates not just freedom from slavery, but now you got to have freedom in your mind, all right? Freedom in your pocketbook. So policies that still enforce redlining, policies that still keep folks, oppressed and depressed and, away, those things have to now take up a new place in our forefront of our minds so that we can think about, am I doing everything that I can? And so young people, when we talk about character, when we talk about confidence, and when we talk about courage. You've got to know that it's going to take you being in positions of leadership to have all of those 3 C's in place, because we can ask folks to vote, but we sure need some good folks to vote for. And so sometimes it takes courage to go against somebody, talking negatively about another, okay, and not being associated with them. Sometimes it takes confidence in yourself when someone says you can't do something, to let them know you can. And it takes a whole bunch of character to stand up for what's right, because it's the right thing to do. And that's what Juneteenth celebrates. You can't celebrate Juneteenth and freedom without celebrating the Quakers who risked their lives and their families, their livelihoods, to help people get to the North to freedom. You cannot not celebrate the Hispanics in the Mexican culture, because there was a Southern Underground Railroad into Mexico. And there's still a village in Mexico called Nacimiento that celebrates Juneteenth today, because Mexico abolished slavery before the U.S. did. As a matter of fact, it was one of the reasons why Texas separated from Mexico, was because they abolished slavery. And they were like, okay, we'll go back to where they want, or we'll join the country that wants it, right? So when you think about it, everybody has the opportunity to find themselves in the Juneteenth story. And you have to allow people to celebrate their heritage and the combined heritage of being an American. And that's what Juneteenth does. So it's going to take courage. Say it with me. Courage. Confidence. And character. Now, we're the older Girl Scouts. Who's graduating? They're graduating? Almost? Next year? Okay. What I want you to know is your character can be judged by what you put on your social media. When you graduate at 18 years old, do you know you could be president in 17 years? At 35. Yes. At 35 years old, you could be president, but your character could be assassinated by what you post on your social accounts when you're young. So you could be your own worst enemy. So be careful with your social space. Post all the good stuff. Every time you get a patch, every time you make a good deed, and all the good stuff. But watch what you put on your social spaces, because it can keep you from being the next school board member, city council member, okay? It can keep you from running for the state legislature, being the mayor of the city, okay? So those are not out of your reach, but your character, your confidence, and your courage to do what's right because it's the right thing to do never goes away. And that's what you guys are learning being a part of Girl Scouts. And I salute you today. All right? All right.
Me too. I salute you.
Miss Lee, we have 7 girls that have practiced some questions for you. So I'm going to call them up. If you're one of those 7, you know who you are. You're Ellie, Marley, Amelia, Celeste, Nora, Serenity, and Corley. You can just sit right here on the floor, and I'll give you a chance to ask your questions. And when you do, you can tell us who you are and what troop you're into. Serenity, will you go first? Okay, I'm going to put this like this. Actually, and then that way you can look at it.
Hello, my name is Serenity in Troop 1906, and my question is, what is important about Juneteenth and why should we celebrate it?
What's important about Juneteenth and why should they celebrate?
Everybody needs to know that they are free. And Juneteenth means freedom for everybody. Now, you might need to know that the 4th of July freed the land, but Juneteenth freed the people.
Hello, my name is Celeste. I'm a junior from Troop 7793, and my question is, did you have any setbacks or challenges in getting Juneteenth to be recognized as a national holiday?
Did you have any challenges or setbacks working towards Juneteenth being a holiday?
Would you believe everybody was so nice? I tell you, see, I don't want you to think I walked 1,400 miles. I didn't. But I walked from Fort Worth to Arlington to Grand Prairie to Joppa. I walked all over these United States. I went to St. Louis and Denver and Atlanta, Alabama, all those places. And everybody was so nice. They gave me rides in their car because, you see, somebody had promised us an RV. And they decided what I was doing was too political, and they kept their old RV. But people were so nice. I only had one man that I tried to give a flyer to, and he wouldn't take it. I think he was late for work.
I will give you this. The one setback we did have is one of the process of getting a bill usually starts in the House and then goes to the Senate. And so the senators were working to kind of change that. And if they had gotten a unanimous vote, then they could send it over to the House. After, in 2020, they went for a vote, and Ron Johnson, the senator from Wisconsin, was the lone no vote. So it died in 2020. And we had raised, how many? 1.5 million signatures, and we delivered those to Congress in September. And we were going to give them to each of the representatives so they could see their states and who supported. We decided to give all 1.5 million pieces of paper to Ron Johnson. So his district office got all those boxes of signatures to let him know that the will of the people was for Juneteenth to be a national holiday. And so that was, it wasn't a setback. And so remember, and that's the reason why. So this, in 2021, he removed his objection on the 15th of June. The House voted on the 16th of June. And on the 17th, we were in D.C. signing Juneteenth into law.
Hi, my name's Corley. I'm a junior from Troop 1608. My question is, why is it important to learn about our history? It's in the past.
Why is it important to learn about your history? It's in the past.
Oh, you should know about your history, all of it, the good, the bad, the ugly, so that there's some of it you don't really want to repeat. You need to know your history. And so I'm hoping that the parents will talk to the people who wanted to take the books out of the schools and the libraries. And be sure you band together and see that that doesn't happen. Our children need to know our history.
Hi, my name's Marley. I'm a senior from Troop 7775. And my question is, what advice would you give to people who want to make a change in our society like you did?
What is the advice I want?
What advice would you give young people who want to make a change in society?
Whatever you decide that's going to help your community, your family, your school, don't let anybody change your mind. Stick with it through thick and thin. People tried to make me think, and they said I was crazy. Hey, didn't bother me. So don't you let it bother you. When you've got something that you know is yours and that is good for everybody, stick with it.
And I think your 3 C's really play a real good part in that, because a lot of times others want to do the same thing you're thinking about, but they're scared to take that step. And they're fearful that they're either going to be laughed at or they won't be able to do it or it's too big. But you'll find a whole lot of people will come along and help you because they want the same thing. So remember your courage and your confidence in yourself and your idea, and then making sure that you stick to it, and that's a character building quality.
My name is Amelia. I am a junior in Troop 5359. My question is, what do you think is the most important invention made in your life?
What is the most important invention that's been made in your lifetime?
Oh, there are so many. I think the one I'm going to tell you about the most is an iron.
An iron? They don't even know what an iron is.
No. This is a big something where you can put the clothes in, you know. What was that called? Was that not an iron? Huh? Well, whatever it was, when it was invented, I was so proud because I had 3 boys, and there was lots and lots of jeans that had to be ironed. But this thing was something you could slide the jeans in. Ooh, I enjoyed that.
Hi, I'm Ellie, and I'm a senior in Troop 7802, and my question is, how should we celebrate Juneteenth?
Oh, in as many different ways as you can. Now, we start off by the flag. We have a flag raising. And then we do a breakfast of prayer. It's not to be confused with a prayer breakfast where you sit down and eat a lot of food, but it is so reverent. We have a Miss Juneteenth pageant. We have, there is the young people who get together, I think it's
Your Voice Unleashed.
Your Voice Unleashed. Those young people work together, all different nationalities, and then they perform in a week. There's a barbecue cook-off. Oh, there's a place where you can learn to buy a home or to straighten up your credit.
Empowering you.
Empowering you. There's so many things that you can get and learn at Juneteenth.
You have a card that was passed out to you along with your Juneteenth information. So all of our month-long events are on that card, as well as we do an annual walk, Opal's Walk for Freedom. and 2.5 miles. This year, it will be done in Fair Park with the African American Museum of Dallas it's Wednesday, the 19th, at 9 o'clock in the morning. So we're doing it early because it gets hot. I told you about that hot thing. But there's there's ways to get involved, to serve on committees. Make sure that your school has, even though it's in the summertime, make sure your school has a Juneteenth book in their library, right? All the schools should have at least, and I would like for every teacher to have one so they can have a resource to talk about Juneteenth, even though it's in the summertime, right? But find ways to get involved. We have scholarship essays for Juneteenth. We have, again, Miss Juneteenth pageant. And then we've got a 3-day festival with fireworks every night. So there's a lot to do, but more than that, in your city council, in your school, make sure they find ways to acknowledge it, okay?
Hi, my name is Nora Adele Harrison. I am 9 years old, and I'm from Troop 5359. And this is not my question, but we're actually learning about Texas history in school right now. And we kind of learned how the reason the United States didn't want to let Texas join is because they were a slave country, and then it would make it uneven. And my question for you is, at what age did you decide to make a difference? And I really like your necklace.
But at what age did you decide to make a difference?
Ooh, I'm not sure what age I was, but I knew when I was teaching 3rd grade, 8-year-olds, I taught them so long I was beginning to act like them. But when a child came to school and he hadn't had food, he couldn't learn. So I'd have to get to see that his family knew where the food bank was, or to see that he had food. And then sometimes they didn't have clothes and shoes. So I had to help with that. And do you know, some people didn't have any place to live. I'd have to help find a house for them. So I guess I'd say when I first started teaching, I had to help with those kinds of things.
Thank you so much, Ms. Opal Lee. And what I know for sure is that these girls, on the count of 3, tell me how old you are. 1, 2, 3. 10! They are already making a big difference in the world, and we are so inspired by you. So guys, let's give her a big hand. And as we give Miss Lee some tokens of our appreciation, I'm going to invite all the current and former Girl Scouts, if you want, and some leaders to help us make a big quiet circle around the room, a big quiet friendship circle. If you're up here, you can stand right where you are and turn around. And Miss Lee and Miss Dion, we have some of our service unit t-shirts for you, and the very special book that I love to use when I teach, Lift Every Voice and Sing, that tells the story, and also some Girl Scout cookies. And one really special thing, Girl Scouts, and it's okay, you can be facing that way when we sing, so you don't have to hold your hands yet, okay? You don't have to hold hands yet. I love seeing this big circle. Let's see if it can go all the way around, We can have some more Girl Scouts back there. And Miss Tiffany and Tiana, are you ready to show her a special gift? Girl Scouts, yep. Listen up to this special gift.
What an honor. Miss Opal Lee, what a blessing to be here. Today, not only because I am a Lake Highlands graduate of 1997, woo! And I have been a Girl Scout parent and volunteer since 2005. We are honored today to present Ms. Opal Lee with this gift we created on behalf of Girl Scouts of Northeast Texas, Lake Highlands Service Unit 165. The mission of Girl Scouts is to build girls of courage, confidence, and character. We lead, we serve, and we serve as a reminder that you are never too young to make a difference. Today, Ms. Opal Lee, not only are you being honored with a Girl Scouts honorary lifetime membership, you not only represent courage, confidence, and character. You serve, you lead, and you remind us today that you are never too old to make a difference. I wanted to read, as Lowry mentioned, there was a, yeah, so I can read. So I want to read what was on the Galleria, the mirror that was there for Miss Opal. It says, Miss Opal Lee is known as the grandmother of Juneteenth. She was present when President Joe Biden signed the bill that established Juneteenth as a federal holiday. After her successful walking campaign, an online petition that garnered over 1.5 million signatures for Juneteenth holiday awareness, she has received 3 honorary doctorates. 7 now, okay. She was named 2021 Texans of the Year by the Dallas Morning News. She was the 2021 Unsung Hero of the Pandemic, Fort Worth. So Fort Worth Incorporated's 22 Person of the Year, and most recently nominated for the Nobel Peace Prize.
Ooh. And her portrait now hangs in the Texas Senate. She's the second African-American.
Second African-American whose picture is held at the Texas Senate. Thank you, Miss Opal Lee.
And now you're a lifelong Girl Scout. Wow! Congratulations. So every now and then, if you're like me, you listen or watch the news and you can feel pretty down. And when that happens to me, I hang out with my Girl Scouts. And I remember something that's really important for all of us to know every single day. And that is that Girl Scouts, maybe you can help me with this if you know it. Love is all around. Good is all around. We are love. We are good. We are Girl Scouts all around. Let's say it together. Love is all around. Good is all around. We are love. We are good. We are Girl Scouts all around. And before we sing our closing Friendship Circle song, and the words will be up here because we have lots of great verses that you may not know, I want to encourage you all to go out into the world with courage, confidence, and character to make the world a better place, whether you're a Girl Scout or not. Okay.